Hey, thanks for coming back to the channel. Last week, when I posted my video, I was trying hard not to make a 20-minute video. I promise you this one won't be a 20-minute video. I'm gonna even talk super fast if I have to make sure that we keep it nice and tight. Over the last little while, I've been doing a lot of web design related content. And I think it's interesting for me that I wasn't doing a lot of web design related content before now. 80% of my agency revenue was digital media related. It was a ton of websites. Our biggest projects ever were websites. And so the fact that I wasn't doing a lot of website content before now is the weird thing, not that I'm doing website content now. Today we're gonna tackle some things about no-code websites. In fact, what I want this video to be is just like this perfect summary of no-code websites. If you're thinking of starting to design websites for clients and you're not really sure which direction to go and you hear the buzz about no-code platforms, this is the video for you that is gonna outline why these things exist, what they do, where they're priced, and how you can use them for your client websites. Some of the frequently asked questions about no-code sites may be a little remedial to some of you because you're more seasoned in your career. If that's the case, stick with me or jump ahead. I'm putting chapters in, so just jump ahead to where it's important for you. But I gotta cover the basics because some of the people watching this probably don't know the basics. So we're gonna start by saying, what in the heck is a no-code platform? In the old days, you had to write the code to publish a website. Here's the code behind apple.com, and here's the Apple website. Somebody had to write the code for this. A no-code tool writes the code for you, and you design a website using designer-style tools, and then the tool, the platform, kicks out the code for you. And you might hear the phrase low code, like no code versus low code, and wonder what is the difference between these two things? And the truth is that there's not a lot of difference between this when we're relate them to website builders. No code versus low code. Most of the no code builders allow you to ramrod custom HTML, custom CSS, custom JavaScript into the builder, even though it's not native. So if you're a coder or code comfortable, you can use a no-code platform as a low-code platform, meaning the platform itself does a lot of the heavy lifting and you just force in code when you need to do something a little more custom. Let's take a look at the builders, the different no-code builders that are out there. We're gonna go over a few and I'm gonna give you a little bit of an analysis about these coming up, and we're gonna look at the prices of some of these. But we have Editor X. Editor X is a product of Wix, and Wix is a huge company of template building websites. Editor X is their kind of more seasoned, mature, capable sibling of Wix. Editor X is a great little platform for no code. Webflow, super popular platform for no code. Wix is a template builder, but it is a no code builder, meaning you can choose a template, populate it with your content, images, colors, and then publish a website. Squarespace, the same thing. It's a template-based builder. Framer is a no-code platform that's gaining popularity right now, where you go in and can have somewhat custom design and publish a website without actually coding. Then we have Weebly, which is a template builder. Duda, which is a no-code builder. It's a little bit more customized, capable. And another one that I found that I didn't know about was this one, Zero or Zyro, is another no-code builder, template builder. And then there's some builders that are inside of WordPress. WordPress is a content management system, and there are no-code builders that are built into WordPress, to working on WordPress. Elementor is a popular one that I've had some experience using. Divi, another very popular builder that's inside of WordPress, like a no-code builder inside of WordPress. And then the one that I'm very familiar with is Salient, that back in my agency, we started using Salient 13 years ago, 14 years ago, I don't know, whenever it kind of came out, we've been using Salient, and I've been using it ever since. One of my team members got got us all addicted to Salient, and it's been a great platform for websites as a no-code style builder or low-code style builder. And there are a lot of other options. There are a lot of other ways that you can build a website without knowing code. I'm not going to go through all of them here. It would be an exhaustive, long video, and I'm lucky to get you to stick around for 12 minutes. So we're not going to go into the weeds of every no-code or low-code website builder out there. Now, if you're thinking about using a no-code builder to build websites for your business, your creative business, there are certain benefits that come with no-code platforms. The first big benefit is that there's speed to market. Like, you can get your website faster built. It's built faster, it launches faster, you get speed to market. And time is money in business. If it gives you the jump on a competitor or something because you didn't have a 3-month-long development cycle and you could just crank out a new website in a week, that is a big benefit to a no-code platform. Another one is that they're less expensive to produce, mostly because you're not doing the code. If you have a designer and a developer that you need to have in place to build a website, well, with a no-code platform, you can do it with just a designer. They're less stressful to produce. At my agency, we had a team of developers. We did a lot of custom website projects. And so it was about half our production team were designers and the other half were developers. And when you get into the build process of a website, there is a lot of back and forth between the designer and the developer. The designer who did the design for the client and then had it approved now is going and having to manage a developer to fix all the nuances of it. So the developer codes, sends it back to the designer. The designer looks at it and says, oh, we got to move this up and we got to move this down. Can you move this over here? Oh, this didn't come out the way that I had envisioned. And all of a sudden there's back and forth between the designer and the developer, and that can create a more stressful production environment. Another benefit is that it's easy to make changes. Like, a client calls and says, we want to change something, change our homepage tagline. Well, boom, it's fast and easy to make those kinds of changes on a no-code website when you can just log in to the builder, change the text, and republish the site. And there's some negatives to no-code platform that we can't overlook. The negatives to no-code platform, the first one is that it's technology lock-in. There's a phrase, it's technology lock-in or proprietary lock-in or customer lock-in. But the idea is that a certain technology locks you in and you can't get away from that. You can't get away from that technology. If you take Apple, for example, I have so much stuff tied into Apple. My photos are all here, my music is here, my email and everything is all connected in through my Apple device. My locations and contacts and all these things are all tied up into this. And even data storage, which I don't even use because I'm tied into Dropbox. I have so much data on Dropbox from years and years that I'm locked into that technology. So I'm paying for Apple and I get storage. I'm paying for Dropbox and I get storage. I'm paying for Google and I get storage, and I can't get rid of any of them because I'm locked into each of those technologies. And it's the same way some people perceive that as a challenge for no-code builders. If you build it on Editor X, you're stuck in Editor X. If you build it on Webflow, you're stuck in Webflow. And that's true, but you're gonna build it somewhere and you're gonna be stuck into something no matter what it is. Redesigning or rebuilding a website onto a whole different platform is gonna be a challenge, whether it's a custom website or a technology lock-in website like you might do with one of the no-code builders. The next thing is that customizations can get tricky. Like I said, they're in the low-code perspective of these builders where you can jam in your own custom code to make something happen that isn't native to the builder itself. That can get tricky. It can be tricky to do that. My Salient instance for WordPress, I have so much freaking custom code in there that I've used to make something a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, a little bit more compressed, a little over to the right or left or up or down, just that tweaking. And sometimes it gets tricky to figure out how do you force that code into it. And then the final thing, the possible negative that you could look at is that there is a challenge to scaling in the future. If you do want to grow beyond the capabilities of the platform that you choose, where your website now gets millions of hits and super viral content or something, and you're locked into this platform, and you really need to scale beyond what the capabilities of the platform are. That can be challenging. Now, in most cases, that doesn't happen. In most cases, what you build on a no-code platform is going to serve you or your client for a long time. But there may be circumstances where some e-commerce store or something just blows up and needs to scale beyond one of these platforms. Then you're looking at an entire rebuild. So here's a little summary of the positives and negatives. I threw this slide on here just so you can screenshot it or whatever you want to do if you're looking at this video. There are pros and cons to using no-code platforms. In my opinion, the positives far outweigh the negatives. Now, which no-code builder is the best? This is probably what you're thinking. I threw out a whole bunch of different options. Which one is the best of all of these options? Well, the truth is this: the one you know is the best. The one you know is the best. These are tools. They're tools in the hands of a creative person. And let me give you an example, like CorelDRAW. CorelDRAW is, in perspective of most, an inferior product to Photoshop. It's always been perceived that way forever. In fact, I didn't even know it was really still a thing until like a month ago. But CorelDRAW is still out there, but there are artists who know CorelDRAW so well that they can outperform a person who knows Photoshop because they know CorelDRAW so well, better than the person trying to use Photoshop. The tool isn't what makes it great, it's the person using the tool. And that's the way you have to look at these no-code builders. Is Webflow better than Editor X? Not with the right person using Editor X. Is Editor X better than Webflow? Not with the right person using Webflow. It's whichever tool you know the best is the best tool to use. Now, let me tell you what I do like about Editor X, and just out of full disclosure, Editor X, this is a sponsored video by Editor X to help promote their product, but I love their product and I've dug into their product, and I have a module in my Web Design Business Bootcamp course all about Editor X. These are a couple of things that I like about Editor X. Number one is that it's backed by Wix. Wix is a $5.45 billion company. There are 3.3 million websites that are built on the Wix platform, and Editor X is the more capable sibling to Wix. It's part of that Wix family. So I like that. I like using tools that are backed by the mega companies. So that's one thing that I love. And another thing that I like is that Editor X has a great academy. They have a great academy of educational resources where if you don't know how to use the product, you can go to the Editor X Academy right there on their website and start watching videos and learning this tool and how to use it. So they've done a great job with that. I also like that it's really user-friendly. It works the way that I think, because I've been building things in Adobe InDesign and other website builders and in back end of WordPress and in Salient, and I understand the way that I use those other tools, and Editor X works the way that I think based on the things I've learned from other software. Let me just throw a couple of statistics at you. There are 3.3 million websites that are built on Wix. Wix, the parent to Editor X. Webflow, super popular, has 430,000 websites that are currently live using Webflow. And to put that in perspective, WordPress, which is not a no-code builder, but there are no-code builders built to be used in WordPress, has 810 million sites using it. That's 30% of the entire internet is powered by WordPress, which is just craziness. And it should be a little vote of confidence for those of you that are developers watching this to know that, yeah, these no-code tools are artificial intelligence doing your job for you, but will they really impact your job in the future? Not anytime soon. WordPress is still the fastest growing platform with more than 500 sites launching on it every single day. So Developer jobs are still safe, even though no-code platforms are growing in popularity. All right, how much do these things cost? Let's dig into some of the numbers. I am gonna pull out the template builders. Squarespace, Wix, Weebly, those kinds of builders. I'm pulling those out of this little assessment and just doing these true head-to-head competitors of no-code builders. And at the time of this video being shot, here are the numbers. We're gonna compare them against website hosting in general. So just general website hosting, right now, somewhere on the low end, $5, $15, and $25 per month is a hosting fee. Now, when you use one of these no-code platforms or low-code platforms, you run into numbers like these. Editor X, $22 a month on the low side, $35 and $49 on the high side, depending on the site and the features that you're using. Webflow, $18 a month, $29 and $49. So very similar, within a few dollars of each other, and the high side is equal. Framer, $10 a month, $20 a month, $30 a month. So they're trying to undercut some of the price point there. And Duda, $19, $29, $59 per month. So we're seeing some similarities in the pricing there. Now this is just the general pricing. There are other prices available on these platforms if you use some of the other features like e-commerce and things. Those features will start to cost you more money, which is also consistent across all of the different platforms as well. How do you sell no-code websites to clients? Now, I have done some videos on this. If you haven't seen those, I'll drop some links in there. You'll find a playlist for web design and development on my channel, and you can see some of those other videos. This is my advice relating to no-code for clients. Number one, it doesn't necessarily have to cost the client less just because you're using a tool. I don't recommend charging hourly. I recommend charging a fixed price and bidding a scope of work for a set price. And some of the variables that you consider when you're pricing a project are: what's the end value to the client? And the end value of a website doesn't change based on the platform that it's built on. It changes based on the effectiveness of the site. And so if the site's gonna be effective for a client, it doesn't necessarily have to cost them less just because you use a builder that is a no-code platform. Now, it will likely cost you less to produce the site, and you can decide whether you want to pass that savings along to your client or whether you want to retain that savings and just have it be a more profitable project for you. The next thing is you don't have to tell the client that you're using a no-code platform. You don't have to say, hey, we built this on Editor X. It doesn't matter, it's just the tool. It's not like if you hire a construction person to build a house for you, they don't go and say, hey, well, we use the very best hammers that are out there to hammer the nails in. Nobody cares. We just care that the nails get into the wood. We don't care what kind of hammer gets it there. So you don't have to tell the client what tool you're building things on. Now, I do personally recommend letting the client know that we're building it on this platform and here's the benefits to being on that platform. I do recommend it, but you don't have to tell the client. It's not like you're selling a no-code site, you're selling a website. The next thing is that you can use a full process. You can use the full process. You can go to content planning, content strategy, you can do information architecture and mood boarding and wireframing and all this normal process that I've outlined in some of my other videos. You can do the full process even though the build is on a no-code platform. Another piece that I recommend, I never marked up the hosting stuff. We tried it for a little bit at my agency. We tried doing hosting for clients, but it was part of a website maintenance package and I didn't love that. And we ended up canceling all of them at one point. My recommendation for most people, most freelancers, small agencies, is that just use the client's credit card to pay the fee to Editor X or Webflow or whatever no-code platform you're using. Let them pay it on their card. We did that a lot with hosting as well. Just when we were hosting a WordPress site and building it on WordPress, which is a custom build on that CMS, we'd still just have the client pay for the hosting on their credit card rather than invoice them and try and mark up something that's $30 a month and you're gonna mark it up to $36, 20% markup. It's not worth the $6 per month for most creative entrepreneurs, freelancers, agency owners. Okay, well, there's some summary. I'm sure I probably am like over 20 minutes on this video too. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why I can't do a video that's less than 20 minutes. We'll see where this one comes out. But let's close by saying, hey, check out Editor X. It's a super powerful platform, no code builder. If you know how to use other pieces of software, it is intuitive to the way that you use other software. And if you don't use other software like that, it's very learnable through the educational resources that they have. And if you're interested in doing web design services for your clients, check out my course, Web Design Business Bootcamp, where I give you everything you need to start offering website design development services, proposals, contracts, SOPs, instruction on how to fulfill every little piece of a website engagement for a client. That course, check it out, Web Design Business Bootcamp. All right, thanks a lot for watching this video. We'll see where it came in on time. Hope to see you next time.